So it's called Mable And The Wood, and it's a Metroidvania where you take on the forms of the bosses when you kill them. And then you use those shapes to explore the interconnected world. So in this demo, basically you kill the spider, which means that you can fire out the sword, stick into the scenery and swing through the world. But it's not like this normal sort of running and jumping Metroidvania. You play a girl who can't lift her sword. So you're dragging the sword along behind you, and to actually defeat any enemies or fly, you have to leave the sword behind you, shapeshift into a fairy, fly away, and then pull the sword back towards you. So yeah, it's also it all started around the idea of movement being combat and all doing the same sort of thing. So you can't actually move without potentially killing something because it's all the same mechanic. So what I thought would be interesting is if you had multiple ways through the game. So not only can you go and kill all these bosses and take on their shape, you can also play as a pacifist and find the secrets to explore and find different routes through the world. And then you get, let's say, different endings. There's 3 different endings in the game, depending on how you play it. And then kind of narratively sort of loops around again. So if you completed the game one way, you can then replay it straight away and sort of carry on and find the other endings and find the other little stories in the world. So it's been 3.5 years I've been working on it.
Wow.
In my spare time.
And you've won an award. Tell us about your award.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. So it's a Jupiter Hadley Award for top 10 of EGX.
That's really fancy.
So I thought it was just the indie games, but my friend who came with me reckons it's all the games. But unless I go and see it a star next to Odyssey, I'm not sure that it's true. But yeah, no, it was super. I wasn't expecting it. It was really awesome. It's coming out first quarter next year.
Cool.
So I'm just here to try and get a bit of coverage, get people to wishlist it on Steam, speed to the console. So hopefully looking at sort of Switch.
Always been your job? Or?
No, this is part-time. I do this in my spare time. Yeah, so I've got a day job.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So I get home from work, play with my kids for a couple of hours, put them to bed, and then pack my laptop out.
What made you decide to do that?
I've been doing it as a hobby for about 7 years now. Just making little flash games originally, and then doing game jams.
Yeah.
And then this was just a game jam game that was really popular in the jam. I started just doing a devlog for it. And I got to a point a year after playing around with it, just for fun. I was like, well, I'll probably leave it at that and move on to the next idea. But then everyone who followed devlog was like, no, don't stop. So I thought, well, I wanted to try and find out if people were actually genuinely interested in it. So I did a Kickstarter to try and get professional sound and music. That was successful. And yeah, it was successful. So I've been working on it ever since.
Yeah.
And now it's nearly done. So
as someone who hasn't done the kind of uni pathway, what would your advice be to people who are looking to get into game developing?
Well, I did this in Game Maker because I found it really easy to use and simple to use.
Yeah.
So if you know what kind of games you're trying to make, if you're happy making a 2D game, then Game Maker is fantastic for that. Really easy to use. There's also things like Construct that I know a few of the guys in the left field in particular. It's really popular. And again, the easier the system, the easier the program to use is, the better you can express the ideas that you've got. You can play around.
Yeah.
One of the most important things is to just be playful with your ideas. So one of the things that's actually helped this a lot, weirdly, is drunk people. So Sumo Digital, I'm from Sheffield, and Sumo Digital put on an ad hoc games night in a pub in Sheffield.
Yeah.
And they invite local indies to take their games to the show there. So most of the actual live playtesting has been done by quite drunk people. And when you've got complicated mechanics that are quite hard to explain, having drunk people play a game is so valuable because you can see how they're misunderstanding. They're not reading anything, so the can't, it's all blurry, obviously. So it's just a really good way of being able to hone your mechanics so that it can be as complex as you want, but you've got to still make them so that they can be easily picked up and easily learned.
Yeah.
And just that has made the game about 100 times better.
Oh, wow.
It's been great. It's just a little look that I live in Sheffield, basically. It's been cool.
That's amazing.